Welcome. Welcome to our Parent Information Night, where my co-host and I will be talking about our Senior Farewell Tour 2021. I'm Nate Salisbury, the proud principal of the best high school in the country. I have a presentation for you. I hope that's up. I'm going to give how this is going to work tonight is I'm going to present a few things to you, present some information about what we have coming up, talk to you about what the actual graduation ceremony might look like. And then at the end, we're going to open it up for questions. The senior class president, Keziah Rennes, is with us. I'm going to introduce, she'll come on in a minute, and she will ask me some questions that she has, and then you're going to have a chance to ask questions in the chat, and we'll try and get through those. So at this time, hopefully you can see on the screen our Senior Farewell Tour, and we have a schedule that is just packed with really cool events for our seniors this year. I think we did a really good job last year of coming up with some great ideas. And what we've done this year is we've even taken it a step further. We have more events. The events that we have this year that are similar to last year, we've expanded and made them even bigger and better. So I'm super excited about the stuff we're going to be able to offer you here. So let me just kind of walk through some of this stuff. But before I do, I want to talk to you. I want to share, I've been asked by some friends of our class to share some announcements with you about something. This is not related to school. This is our senior parents are putting together a grad night event after graduation. And usually they advertise that, take care of that all on their own. But because of the situation that we have right now, that's extremely difficult for them to get information out. So I offered to share some of that information with you. You can see it on your screen. What they're going to do for our graduates after graduation is they're throwing a grad night luau. There's going to be food, games, music, prizes. It starts at 8 p.m., which, as I said, will be after graduation is over. This is going to be held at the Elks Lodge. Now, one of the problems with that is we can't fit the entire graduating class on that. So what I'm told is they're going to do a first come, first serve registration. And the registration for this is going to be May 10th at 5 p.m. That's when it's going to open up. And the link is available at the website you see on your screen. Space is limited. So one of the things I really want to clue you in on is make sure that you're ready to sign up at 5 o'clock on May 10th. The major fundraiser that they have going on right now is Grad Night t-shirts are for sale. And they're available until May 19th. I think they're $15. But where you can find out all of this grad night information, I think we have a link on our website. If you go to our website, I'll probably mention this multiple times tonight. But if you go to the high school website, click on families, and then go over to graduation, and there's a bunch of information there. I think we have a link there for them. You also, I recommend you follow them, the Grad Night group on Facebook, and that will help you make sure you're getting all the current updated information. All right. So now let's get into some of the stuff the school is offering and providing for our kids. Back by popular demand is our first senior event starts on May 21st. And last year we came up with a first ever event called Friday Night Lights. We received rave reviews about this, and we're going to offer it again. But like I said, it's going to be bigger and better than last year, if you can imagine that, if you saw it last year. So Friday Night Lights is May 21st. It starts at 7 p.m. Last year, Friday Night Lights took place only on the campus here at the high school. This year, we've expanded it. The community wanted to get involved, and so they are involved. So this is going to start at Bayshore Lot, which is downtown. We're going to stage cars down there starting, I think they'll be ready between 6:30 and 7. And then we're going to do a cruise or procession through downtown up Highway 20 to the high school. It will be led by a police will be leading it, and they'll be blocking off streets for this. families and community can line the way from anywhere downtown up Highway 20 up to the high school. When they get to the high school, from that point on, the last section of that event will be seniors only. The seniors will go back behind the school. We've got some amazing stuff back there. So this event will be happening on May 21st. It's our kickoff event. If you know anyone that missed this presentation, you're going to be able to find it on our high school website. And I'll say it again. You go to our high school site, click on families, go to graduation, and you'll find this, what's on your screen right now, along with a lot of other information. One of the things I want to key you in on early is that many of these events that we are doing for your senior, we need information and or photos and stuff like that from you. So when you receive a request from us to send photos or information about your senior, please do so right away. And please don't assume if you're asked by more than one person or you're asked more than once, don't think, oh, I already did that, I'm good. There are multiple different people running different events on this list, and they all may need information. So every time you're asked if you could have that, you might even right now want to start gathering some photos, getting some of those together so that you're ready when you're asked. The other thing that I want to say is please be checking, have your student check their school email regularly, and don't ignore, we're going to be releasing information probably about once a week starting here this week or next. And so please make sure you're reading those emails, because a lot of valuable, important information is going to be coming out. We don't want anybody to miss out on anything because they didn't know about it. Next, we have a new event this year that I want to highlight. We've made a partnership with Blue Fox Drive-In, and we're going to be doing a senior movie night. This is a new event. We did not do this last year, and this event is actually where we're going to do our senior slideshow, one of those many things where you need to get some pictures in. So this senior slideshow is going to happen at the Blue Fox Drive-In. The other thing about this event that's really cool is this is a totally free event, as all of these are. All of these events are totally free to your senior. This is a senior-only event, so unfortunately families can't come. Families, you can see the slideshow. That will be made available to everybody, but this is a senior-only event at the drive-in. Food is provided, so their dinner meal, go-karts are provided, and then after the senior slideshow, we're going to show them a movie. So it'll be a late night. The next day is actually it's a Tuesday night. June 15th is a Tuesday, so the next day is a Wednesday. They don't have to be here in person for school that day. It's going to start at 4 o'clock. So again, watch for more information on this coming out to you. All right, the next thing that I want to talk about is maybe the biggest, most important, and we need feedback right away from all of you on this. We want to know what you think is best for us. How do we honor these graduates in their graduation ceremony? And so we're going to be sending out a survey tonight after this presentation. In fact, I think it's set to come out at 8 p.m. tonight. I want to give you some information about what your options are so that you can make an informed decision when you fill out that survey. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to take you through some of this. So there are basically, we're categorizing our options as two different categories. One category of option is a group type graduation or an individualized type graduation. The survey is going to go out we're going to send one to parents and families. We want to hear from you. What's the parent perspective on what would be best? And then we're going to send also a survey to all of our seniors. We want to know from seniors, what do seniors think is best? And then we're going to take all of this information and we're going to put it together and come up with what the best option is for the class of 2021. the parameters of graduation, I want to first explain that I've had many people come up to me and say, hey, I heard my cousin in Texas did this, or the Air Force Academy did that, or they have all these different ideas of graduation, but we are bound to Washington State Department of Health guidelines, and those are actually available to you. In the email you're going to get tonight about the survey, there's a direct link to those graduation Department of Health guidelines, so you can look at those yourself. The first thing I want to point out is that if we did a graduation ceremony in the stadium, because of those requirements, 750 not fans, family members are the maximum we would be able to have. This 750 does not include our seniors, so that doesn't count the graduates that would be on the field. Excuse me. A few things that we would have to follow if we did that form of either form of graduation, actually, is masks are required for everyone, both those in attendance and the graduates. And then 6 feet of social distancing is required between families. Now, obviously, a family can be together, but between one family and another family, there has to be 6 feet of distance. Also, between the students, there has to be 6 feet of distance. Now, I know this may sound contrary because many of you know that here at school, the guidelines have been loosened, and if students have their mask on, we have a 3-foot requirement here at school. The graduation requirements are very specific, and for some reason, they are different. So even the students have to remain 6 feet apart at all times in graduation. So now to some of our available options. And again, these will all be things that you can choose from on your survey. So the first option is to do some kind of a large ceremony at the stadium. If we did that using the numbers that the requirements give us, we'd have our 300 and some graduates in one large ceremony on the field. And if we did that, we would only be allowed to have 2 tickets for each graduate. So only 2 people would be able to attend with their graduate in person. If we did 2 medium ceremonies, we could increase the amount of tickets, spectator tickets, to 4 tickets per graduate. If we did 3 smaller ceremonies, then we would be able to offer 6 spectator tickets. One of the things I want to point out real quickly about tickets is in the past, I know if some families were smaller, they would share tickets, extra tickets they had with larger families. We wouldn't be able to do that in these scenarios because we would have to block off areas for each family, and we would have to hold to those amounts to make sure that we can maintain the social distancing requirement. So I want to make sure that you're aware of that. The ticket configuration, as it said on the slide, is of course determined by which type of ceremony, how many spectators we would be able to have. This, of course, we could live stream this to family that was not here in person. If we did an individualized graduation, the available options would be either a drive-through type event, which is similar to what we did last year. We could do something like that again, or we could do a walk-up event. And so with those, the tickets are very flexible. With those, you could, if it was a drive-through event, you could have however many you could get in whatever vehicle you have. If it's a walk-up event, we could more than double the amount of family that could be with the graduate because they would be coming through just as their family unit, and it could be a big group. We wouldn't be under that number requirement that we would be in the stadium. We would have 2 stages that they would go to receive their diploma, and it would be an individualized type presentation. This would also be live streamed with play-by-play commentary for anybody from out of town or here. A couple differences that I do want to point out again. I just want you to be able to make it an informed decision. Is that between the group or the individual systems, the groups, the more ceremonies we have in a day, the more we would have to truncate or shorten the ceremonies. Say if we had 3, we would have to shorten them more than if we had 2, which would be more than 1. And so because we'd have to put in time for transitioning and that kind of thing. And so the ceremony, depending on which is chosen, could be shortened. If we did the individualized, we wouldn't have to shorten it. We'd be able to include all the speeches, everything, because we're just got the steady flow and we go through and get it done in the day. So there's some information about that. So this information that I've shared is also in the email that's going to come out to you tonight. So you can read through that. You can see it again. We've even tried to put together some pros and cons for each in the email. So please read through all of that. Read through the whole email. I think it will help you in making your decision. The other thing you need to know is that this presentation right now will be available to people. So let's say you know somebody that wasn't able to make this tonight. Tell them to go to our website. Again, go to high school website, click on family, and then go to graduation, and this presentation will be there. They could even watch the presentation. The email will tell you how long you have to get the survey done. I think it's about a week that we're going to need the results back. So you have some time to think through this, talk about it as a family, whatever you need to do. All right. So at this time, what I'd like to do is I would like to introduce my co-host, who is our senior class president. She's done an incredible job leading her class under some very difficult circumstances this year. So please join me in welcoming our Oak Harbor High School senior class president, Keziah Rennes. Welcome.
Hi guys. Hello. Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to be able to present some of the questions that us seniors have and be able to present our excitement that we are towards all of these events. I think that they're going to be very exciting. We have a lot planned. Mr. Salisbury and Mr. Laffey have both come together to make some of the best events as well as the rest of the high school. So I'm excited. Yeah. I think we might start with our top questions that we've started with and have asked all the other seniors, a lot of them within our senior class over the last couple of weeks and days. So for our very first question, a lot of seniors have wondered what our last day of school will be.
Okay, our last day of school is June 17th. That is the last day for seniors. If you're not a senior and you're watching this, don't get excited because you go till the 22nd. But our seniors' last day is the 17th. Good question. I want to throw in here that if any of you out there have questions, you can throw them in the chat. And as soon as Keziah gets through the questions she has to ask, she will ask me some of your questions. So feel free to throw questions in there if you have them.
Okay, so for our last day, that's June 17th. And then the next one, we were wondering what a descriptive senior spotlight activity would include. What would that look like?
Okay, on our list, that's the second one down. It says it's from May 24th to June 4th. So that might be why you're asking 2 weeks. What is that? So yeah. This is, again, a tradition we started of doing something special, giving something to the seniors individually. That's why we give ourselves some time to do that. So I'm not going to give you the details. Sorry, Keziah. This is kind of a surprise. So I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is, but tell you that it is a cool event that we have planned for you.
Yeah, that sounds good. I think the anticipation is exciting. Can't know everything, but I think each event, we want its own special surprise factor to it. So that'll be fun. Yeah. And then next is another big question that we got, which I am personally excited to find out the answer to. It is, will we be able to paint or personalize our cap and gowns?
That's a really good question. And actually, we have school board policy on this, which was just changed and updated in January. And so the school board policy says that the gown and the graduation outfit that we wear, for lack of a better term, has to be what the school provides, and that has to be worn unchanged. Now, there is one exception to this. The exception is that anybody that belongs to a federally recognized tribe can wear tribal regalia. And so that is an exception to that rule. But unfortunately, the actual graduation garb has to be worn exactly how it's given to you. That's school board policy.
Okay. So how would the groups be chosen for the group graduation option?
Good question. We would most likely do that alphabetical because we've got to get our numbers exact. So once we know, so I'm assuming, for instance, if we had 2 ceremonies or 3 ceremonies, that's what this question is about. How would you determine which ceremony you're a part of? We would just have to cut it off at the point in the alphabet that gives us the right amount of students for that ceremony so that we can have it exactly right, so that we have the right amount of spectators.
So if it were like the 3 ceremony, would it be like thirds? So we separated
Right.
that way? Okay.
Right. Yep. Exactly.
We have another question asking, why would the paper toss be in the gym rather than the sub like usual?
That's a really good question. The reason we'll do it in the gym is because we have more space, and so it's easier for us to spread out a little bit and observe our social distancing requirements. I actually haven't been here for this infamous paper toss because we weren't able to do it last year. But I've watched videos of it. And if you see videos of it, kids are right next to each other because they're crammed into that sub. It's just not big enough to allow them to spread out. So that's why.
Got it. If a senior doesn't have a license or isn't able to drive with their friends yet, how do they participate in the Friday Night Lights?
So they can either ride with a friend. We had some that did that rode together last year. We also had some that made it a family event. So the family was in the car. And so when I say it's a senior only event, and I can see where that would have been confusing in how I described it earlier, because I said when you get to the school, it's a senior only event. That means 1 car or 1 vehicle per senior. That's what I meant by that. You can have family or other non-seniors in the car, but it's only 1 car per senior that gets to go on this travel.
Mm-hmm.
And the spectators won't be lining behind the school. They can do anywhere from downtown up to the school. They can line the sides of the road. And then when they get to the school, it will be staff that's lining the way behind the school.
All right. What about the senior spotlight for running start students?
We include all seniors on this. So we did have some seniors that, believe it or not, said they didn't want to participate, and so we didn't bother them because what we do is we try and deliver it to each senior's house, and so if for some reason they don't want that, we'll work around that. But every senior, it doesn't matter if you're running start or if you're here all the time or you're a mixture of both, or if you're OVA, which is our virtual academy. If you're considering yourself one of our students, we want you included in this.
Will us seniors be able to walk with people who we want to?
Good question. So because again, let's start with the group graduation in the stadium, we won't be able to walk in together with someone else because we have to observe 6 feet distancing according to the state guidelines. So you won't be able to walk with someone else. In an individualized graduation, you won't be able to either. You will be able to walk in with family, but Yeah, those graduations will be individual. So in either situation, no, you won't be able to walk in or out with someone else.
Okay. Are you able to explain the walk-up graduation, what it would look like?
Well, I can give you some rough details. We haven't done this one, and so we have lots of ideas, and we're waiting. We're not going to plan it out detailed unless we find out it's what we're going to do. But we would have a path or a route that a family group could walk together up to where we would have two stages. Each family would split, and the family would go to their stage. Their student would walk up, get their diploma, have their name called. All of this would be choreographed so that at the same time, we have, like the drive-up graduation, we'd have the play-by-play commentator on the live stream talking about the graduate, giving more information about them, their accomplishments, that kind of thing. And then after they left that, we would have an area set up for them to go have a picture with family or just the graduate, whatever, and then walk back out, get back in their car.
Sounds good. Okay, we have a question from Vanessa. I am a senior this year and I have a sister graduating with me. What would that look like? Would we be able to walk together with the group option?
I don't know. I would have to look into that since you're sisters and your family. We need to look into that. But you definitely would be in the same ceremony. So we would make sure that happened if we had multiple ceremonies. So I'm going to have to get back to you on that. So Vanessa, feel free to follow up with me or Keziah later. If that one of those options is chosen. If we did an individualized graduation, absolutely we could do them together because we can choreograph that way. And so hopefully that gives you at least a partial answer.
Can we bring guests to prom, or is this an event for just Oak Harbor High School seniors?
Yeah, I know usually seniors can invite a guest, and that guest doesn't have to be a senior. Unfortunately, again, because of the requirements, the guidelines that we have to follow, we have to limit it to just our seniors so that we don't have too many people here and we find ourselves in a situation where we can't observe the safety requirements that we have to follow. So this event, short answer is, this is limited to only seniors at prom.
Is there a theme for prom?
I am going to defer to you because I think you actually know more about prom than I do because you've been planning it. So
Well, yeah, I do. For our theme for prom, we're going between multiple. We had a meeting this week and we were able to present our past couple ideas that we've been collecting over from spring break to now. But we have a lot of new ideas. I think we're going to be putting out a survey to the seniors for you guys to answer. But I will seniors will know when we do have that survey out for you guys. We're deciding between 4 different themes. So it will be out soon and hopefully we can get an answer to that. Will student IDs be required for the Blue Fox Drive-In event?
Student IDs or ID so that we know they're a senior coming in. Yeah, some kind of ID would be required, and we'll be checking people in at that event. Yeah.
Question: What time would be the graduation ceremony if it is not a drive-through?
Good question, and we don't know that until we know what ceremony is chosen. So if it's one big ceremony, we'll pick a time and go with it. It probably would be around the time it historically was when we did one ceremony. If we do 2 or 3, we're going to have to do some planning on how to space that out to give ourselves enough time to get the first group out and the next group in without cross contact and that kind of thing. So we don't know start times until we know what system we're using.
How do we buy prom tickets? That's not even a question that I know yet. We are not there.
I do know the answer to that one, and it's really cool because like all of our senior events, all of them are free. There is no cost for any of our events. And this is something from our school district, our school board, everyone is supporting this. Our community is supporting this. And we are providing all of these things this way because our seniors have already gone through so much. And so we don't want anybody that can't attend these events. All right, so I want to remind everybody that if you have more questions, you can always call our office. 279-5800 is our office. You can call our office. We'd be happy to answer questions if more questions come up. Again, I want to highlight that you are going to get an email tonight around 8 o'clock. It will have a survey in it. Feel free to please read the information in that email. And then make an informed decision, and we will take everybody's feedback and do the best we can to provide a ceremony that pleases as many people as possible. Keziah, do you have anything else that you'd like to share? Anything that?
Not for the most part. I appreciate everyone's questions. I think most of our questions were answered, and in the following email that'll come up in the rest of the evening, I think the rest of anyone else's questions will be answered, and we'll be able to actually get some of these events like a solid time and date. And yeah, so the next couple of weeks will be exciting.
The last thing I want to share then is, again, nothing saddens me more than when one of our seniors doesn't get honored at one of our events, like our senior slideshow or our breakfast where we do the virtual signing, which is information about all of our graduates and what they're doing after graduation. I don't like when students miss out on that, and they only miss out on it when we don't get information or photos back about your student. And if they come in on the day of the event, obviously we can't get them included. So please, please, please really watch your emails, and when you get those requests, please make sure to send stuff back in so that nobody misses out on any aspect of these events. Mm-hmm. So with that, I think we're good to close. Keziah, I want to thank you so much. You are such an incredible leader, and
thank you.
So proud to get to be a part of your show tonight. This is awesome.
Yeah, of course. It was a pleasure to be able to voice as seniors. You know, this year's been tough for all of us, and I think finally we're able to get a breakthrough. So we're excited.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So feel free to give us a call if you have questions. Watch for that survey, and I think we'll close at this time. Thank you so much for coming out. We appreciate all of you.